will get.
Sorry, we were talking about burying bodies yesterday. I'll agree.
Okay, we are back live here on our world famous Cheeky Jaguar Radio broadcast, coast to coast and border to border on iHeartRadio and also AMFM247.com. I may not be. I'm also on Spotify. I may not be getting Joe Rogan money, but no one's telling me what to say or do, which is always fun. And we have got two great guests with us today here on our big broadcast. And Sam, how do I introduce you, brother? Because you're not the promoter. You're not working for the athletic commission. Are you just the coach?
I'm actually, I think I might be reffing this one. I'm not quite for sure.
Okay, well, then the referee of record.
Lady in the stands.
We also have with us today Mr. Isaac Doolittle, the Honey Badger, which, by the way, is a terrific nickname, by the way. How did you get, I want to start there. Isaac, how the hell did you get the nickname Honey Badger?
Have you ever seen that old YouTube video, Honey Badger Don't Give a?
Oh, yes.
That came out a long time ago, and while we were going up to some fights, old coach of mine, John Mankey. John Mankey was just like, you're like a honey badger. Every time they hit you, you just don't care. Okay. And so I hadn't had a nickname for the longest time, and what was it, like last fight or your fight before that? He had an old teammate of mine, Willie, doing all the announcing, and he finally looked at me and goes, I've been waiting a long time to say this, and he called me the Honey Badger. I'm like, well, it's stuck.
Well, it's there. That's fantastic. Now, this is, you guys are going to be part of the big program in Salina, Kansas at the Tony's Pizza Event Center, or as some professional wrestlers have referred to it over the years as the Pizza Dome. And it's going to be a tremendous event Saturday, October 10th, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. The first time Bare Knuckle Fighting is in Salina, Kansas. And Sam, you're one of these guys that always wants to do everything as the first. You're the first to do this. You're the first to do that. How do you get into these positions?
Well, bad luck, I guess. No, we're always trying to push the sport forward. And Salina's always been good to me. I've always done my shows in this area when I was doing MMA. And then I kind of branched out into the combative sports, and where I put all 5 different genres that you can do here. And we did it during the COVID, and we just did a basic pay-per-view show.
Yeah.
And then I guess it caught the eye of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, and they said, hey, you did a great job on your show when you really had nothing, and can we come to your area? And I agreed. They were looking for a spot, and I said, well, I'm surrounded by a great area with great fans, great fighters.
Yep.
And so I said, let's put on a show. I said, I don't want to be the promoter, but I'm more than happy to help you put your show together. I am one of the promoters for Bare Knuckle Toe the Line series. So when you see the toe, it's like the AAA ball of the Bare Knuckle fighting. So
that's awesome.
I find up and coming Bare Knuckle fighters. We put them on our show, and if Dave Feldman and Nate Shook like them at Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, they put them on their show.
Now, Isaac, I seen you at the show in Abilene, and you put on a hell of a performance. Is that what got you into this, or was it you being as impressive as you were at the tryout got you on this show?
That's a very good question, and I don't have an answer, so I'm going to assume a little bit of both.
Okay. Take me through that tryout, because I was watching some clips on Facebook and other social media, and I seen you among some of the other guys that I regularly see at these events. Take me through what that tryout was like.
Well, I'm going to do a terrible admonition, because I know if I don't, Sam probably will. I got caught because they were all talking about Chris Lieben, the UFC star, on and on and on and on. And everybody was clapping, and I was standing like an idiot in the corner, like silently clapping. And then I run over to my phone, and my coach is like, what are you doing? Get back on the mat. And I was like, I gotta know who Chris Lieben is. Everybody seems
You
to
know what
it
is?
but me.
I have been to some professional wrestling shows where people have done the exact same thing, where they're like, "We brought in blah blah blah," and I'm like, I don't know who this is.
So my parents never let me watch the UFC, so there was no way I was gonna know who this guy was. So I was hitting mitts with a legend, and my coach Marcus is just geeking out over in the corner. And
Oh
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I've always been told that whether it's fighting or pro wrestling, the biggest marks are the guys that are the participants. So I can understand your coach being just excited as hell that, oh my God, my guy's hitting mitts with Lieben.
Yeah, so we hit mitts, and I took it. He was like a stone wall. He was taking everybody, doing mitt work with everybody. There was a whole line, and I was going with him because, Sam's like, get in this line and press this guy. And I'm like, okay. So I was hitting mitts, and I felt really good because my first round of mitts with him went, I thought, pretty well. And then the second round of mitts, I'm one of the last guys, and he looks up and goes, oh, no. I went, what? And he goes, I'm going to need about a minute or two. And the dude hadn't taken a break all day, and I was just like, oh, that must mean I hit hard? I don't know.
Well,
I didn't know how to take it.
You know what
I
is?
didn't know how to take it at the time.
I would assume that he was impressed, but because like when you walk in, I noticed this at the bare knuckle show in Abilene. When you walk in, you just look like an everyday regular dude, and then when you get in the ring and you take that shirt off, it's like, oh, where did this caveman come from? Because you're just like, you're just built out of granite, brother. So I'm assuming when you walked up there, he probably looked at you and went, oh, yeah, I'm going to need a couple minutes.
So I felt kind of good because I made the legend take a break before he had to hold mitts for me.
He also broke the machine. They were measuring how hard you hit, and Isaac hit it and actually broke the machine.
Oh, that is fantastic. You can put that on your resume.
we literally sat for about 10 minutes waiting for tech support to repair it.
That's awesome. That is fantastic.
And so I was just shooting the gun with Lieben, and he's just like, you know what you should do? And I was like, a sidestep hook because it'll hit harder. And he goes, yeah. I was like, but aren't we supposed to be throwing crosses? And he looks me dead in the eye and goes, there's an old saying, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. Well, okay. That's
awesome. Well, this show is, you guys have sold a lot of tickets for this. It's Saturday, October 10th. It's going to be at the Bicentennial Center or the Tony's Pizza Event Center. I'm always going to call it the Bicenter. It's the Tony's Pizza Event Center in Salina, Kansas. And so, Sam, give me a rundown of some of the different fights on this, because I know Rickles is going to be on it and Nico's on it, and there's a few others.
Yeah, there's a Bill Durkoff versus Austin Levine. That's going to be, it's two heavyweights. They fought a couple times MMA. And I think they're even on their fights, and so they just said, let's just see who the toughest man really is. Let's take the gloves off and let's do this for real. So that's going to be a bang-out fight. Of course, Caveman Rickles always brings a show no matter where he goes. And Nico is just probably one of the fastest hands I've ever seen. When I've been watching him warm up and spar and stuff, it's just unbelievable how fast his hands really are. And then you have Mr. Granite over here, the honey badger. I didn't even like to spar with him when he was like, hey, Sam, let's spar. And I'm like, well, got something else to do. Got to go. So,
I got to go clean some mats. I got to go.
Nice spar.
Yeah.
Well, the one thing that I think is going to be nice, I haven't chatted with Dave since they announced this fight, but I remember when I was going down there and training with Zerger and all them, one of the things that Dave hated was jiu-jitsu class. And with bare knuckle, he doesn't have to go to jiu-jitsu class anymore.
No.
He can just...
Well, he's an animal, but, before his last match with Bellator, I mean, the man's never been tapped out except for that one time.
Yeah.
Even though he doesn't like jiu-jitsu, that guy is an animal.
Oh, he's
just a phenomenal fighter.
he's one of these guys, and I'm sure you guys have bumped into these people along the way, where they hate, like with Rickles, they hate going to jiu-jitsu class, but realistically, he can take anybody out on the ground. It's just a natural thing.
He's just a natural athlete.
Yeah. So, Isaac, talk to me about this guy that you're fighting at the show on October 10th.
We have no idea.
There's not a lot of video. This guy's
Oh my God!
Taking his videos offline, and we know.
Wow.
He likes to box. He likes to throw hands. So.
Well, you know, I remember a few times where I've had like some smoker fights, and I knew ahead of time that I was going to be fighting a certain guy, and they didn't have any video up anywhere, and I'm just like, well, I'm just going to assume I'm fighting Superman. So,
Mike Tyson or Muhammad
yeah,
Ali.
yeah, it's just, you know, Godzilla's showing up. I don't know. I'm just going to be prepared to take on anybody. So that's a great attitude to have, man. Just get in there and just get ready to smash whoever. With this bare knuckle, compared to the one of the things that I've been trying to figure out, maybe you can speak to this, Sam, is I've noticed a few of the bare knuckle shows that they've done in Florida compared to the bare knuckle show that you guys did there in Abilene. How are the hands going to be wrapped? Are they going to ever get to a point where we have a universal wrapping system?
Well, even in MMA, there's not a universal wrapping system.
Yeah.
There's a limit on how much tape and gauze you can use.
Yeah.
But you can go all the way down to just putting one strap around your wrist if you want to.
Yeah.
I know the only thing bare knuckle is you're not allowed to go above the knuckle, so you have to stay a good finger's length behind the knuckle.
Okay.
So this is all exposed, and you're not hitting with the pad. You're hitting with all fist.
So, talk to me about the, I guess the rounds and everything with this. Is it traditional 3-minute rounds like a boxing match, or?
No, it's 5 2-minute rounds, so it's quick.
Oh, Jesus.
They like to keep it action going, so you can go all out for 2 minutes and know you're going to get a minute break, and then back at it for another 2 minutes for 5 rounds. So
wow.
Action-packed. Bare knuckle, they've done it right. Dave Feldman and Nate Shook, they've really taken this sport when they started up in 2018 and just turned it into one of the fastest-growing promotion companies in the world.
Yeah. So Isaac, I've known that I've seen some of your kickboxing stuff. I've seen some of your obviously your bare knuckle stuff. And I've seen a couple of your MMA fights. Do you prefer the bare knuckle to anything else, or is bare knuckle just, I'm doing bare knuckle today?
I think it goes back to, I used to like all the 1600 photos of the old Victorian bare knuckle boxers, and I always wanted to be one of those guys. So it's kind of me getting to live out that childhood fantasy. I'm a ground guy, but there's something so fun about bare knuckle.
Yeah. Well, I know that after that Abilene show, they could have had you fight 2 or 3 other dudes that night, and you would have been fine with it. So I don't think bare knuckle is, from what I can tell, I don't really think it's much of a cardio drain like like MMA would be, even though the rounds are.
It definitely is. You're going at them for 2 minutes for as hard as you can, and if they get even a slight tap on you, you have the chance to go down. Those hits are a lot harder than they are with those gloves, but that's an adrenaline high for you.
So Sam, with this show, how do you think that somebody like Nico Hernandez, who is an Olympic medalist and pro boxer, going to be able to do in bare knuckle? Is it going to be the gloves are off, so he's going to have faster hands, or?
Yeah, he's going to have faster hands, but this is really going to test his chin. I mean, getting hit with, a 10-ounce glove or to straight knuckle to the face. Yeah, you're really going to test your chin and see what kind of person you really are inside. Yeah. Can you come back from that? Can you stand back up after being knocked down? So it's going to test even Rickles, it's all their first time doing this bare knuckle. So we're going to see what kind of athlete they really are. This guy's already been tested. He knows.
Yes.
And
that's one of the things that I think is nice about this is that Isaac's already got some experience compared to all these other guys who were just going in there blind and just praying and hoping for the best.
All right.
So after this fight, what's next for you, Sam, as far as promotion-wise? Or are you just going to see what happens?
Well, we're going to do a Toe the Line series November 21st. We're still looking for a venue. We're going to try to go towards the Kansas City area and kind of test the market out there because everything's kind of been over here with Wichita and now Salina. And so we're going to head towards Kansas City and kind of put on a really nice show. Nothing like the Bare Knuckle guys.
Well,
but, But I'm going to give it the old never surrender MMA flair. That's my promotion company. So the lights are going to be banging. I'm putting on a show.
Yeah.
We're going to have great fighters. We're already halfway through the card. I give you some names, but the contracts aren't signed
Oh,
yet.
yeah.
So
Yeah, and I completely understand. Yeah.
Yeah, and it'll be an air conditioned, like my summer one, which was not air conditioned.
Hey, I'll tell you, that was something. I have worked out in Golden Gloves gyms where it's like 1,000 degrees, and when I was in there, I'm like, oh my God, imagine these fuckers in that ring fighting too.
Oh yeah. Before the bell even tolled, both of us were just like glistening. I went to grab him the first time and slipped right on off.
So, well, Sam, what do you think of some of these fights? Who are you excited to see at this show?
Well, number one, this guy.
Well, yeah, obviously.
I'm always interested on how Rickles is going to walk out, and I love to watch Caveman fight.
Yeah.
Never miss one of those fights. Nico the same way. John Hollis is actually a Salina transplant. I think he's moved away, but he always puts on a show. That kid's amazing.
Oh, I'll tell you, back in the day when John Hollis was starting to get in to do all this stuff, we worked out in the same gym, and him smacking you with a pair of gloves, it's like I don't even want to know what the hell it would be like with just bare knuckles. He hits so like a truck.
He's ready. He's super excited. When I called him and said, hey, would you be interested in doing something like this? And I transferred his name over to Nate Shook. I said, here's a local guy. Let's sell some tickets. Let's get, Salina interested in this fight.
Yeah.
And I know he sells tickets because when I had my show there, he was my top ticket seller.
Yeah.
I mean, most people came to either watch him get beat up or wanted to watch him win. So
yes,
50-50. I love him or hate him.
I remember the old the old MMA shows that Tony Dong and them used to put on at the old hotel out there. That was what it was. People were buying tickets to see him either get beat up or to come watch him beat somebody up. So Isaac, what do you want to do after this? Are you wanting to, since you've done some bare knuckle, or are you going to stay doing this, or you want to go back to do MMA, or?
Oh, I want to see if I can take it all the way to the belt.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. Well, I'll tell you, those, I got to meet the bare knuckle Hall of Fame guy in, I guess it would have been Wichita when they were originally going to do the show in Wichita back in April, and those belts are nice. I'm a huge belt mark, so yeah, if you get a chance to fight for that belt, that would be pretty cool. So talk to me, I guess, finally here about, from a promoter's perspective and from everything, how many tickets can you actually is it going to be full capacity or is it limited capacity? How's this going to work with?
Yeah, due to COVID, it's going to be limited capacity. There's roughly 1,500 tickets are going to be sold for the arena. It holds almost 8,000 if you put people on the floor. They're being very cautious, which is great. We support that 100%.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to put people everywhere. The whole arena's open, and they're just going to assign seating, make sure everybody's 6 feet apart unless you were coming with a party and then sit together. Same thing with the floors. If you get a table, there's only 6 people to a table. So those are going to be sparsely populated, and most people will buy a table for their friends.
Oh,
and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but Dave Feldman, he's bringing the same show he brings everywhere. The same one he did in Florida. It's probably going to be better here. They just keep getting better and better every show. They've only been around a couple of years. So, And every time I watch, the lighting's better, music's better.
Oh, yeah.
The fighters are getting better.
Yes, very much so. So is this going to be in the Heritage Hall part of it, or is this the actual big arena?
Yeah.
Oh,
Big
wow.
arena side.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. Well,
Yeah, 'cause I packed it. I was going to move, even if it was my show before I handed it over to Bare Knuckle. I was going to do one anyway. But I was nice enough to hand it over to these guys since they really needed a place. And
yeah.
I was going to do the same thing because when I did it at Heritage Hall, I mean, we packed.
Oh, yeah. You guys had people on top of people. There was a few times that I'd switch out between post-fight interviews and I'd go downstairs and I'm like, oh, my God, they need a bigger building.
Yeah. So we were going to move it over to the arena anyway.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, we'll bring another one in sometime and we'll do a big conglomerate of, you know, jiu-jitsu and kickboxing and MMA and bare knuckle. So, yeah, Never Surrender's not done. We'll be back.
That's awesome. Well, Isaac, how do people support you and get tickets from you so you can get credit for this, you know, for the show on October 10th?
You can just come onto my Facebook or my Instagram. We got all the tickets up there, or go to Tony's Pizza Event Center and just look for the tickets and put my name in there.
Fantastic.
You can also just call to help the viewers out. It's cheaper to call Tony's Pizza and reserve your seats and tell them it's for Isaac Doolittle or John Hollis, whichever one's fighting for Isaac. But please say Isaac.
Well, gentlemen, I appreciate you doing this, and I look forward to seeing you guys. Next week. It's already here. Holy smokes! Well, gentlemen, thanks for doing this. I really appreciate you taking the time here on a Friday, and Isaac taking time out of your training schedule and everything for this. And we will talk to you guys soon. Appreciate it, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. There they go, Sam Kleinbeck and Isaac Doolittle, the Honey Badger. And check it out. Next week, it is October 10th.